the sort of support that we got was not just from, well, probably from countless trade unions like your own, from Joe, for giving their support. The messages of support was absolutely incredible. Also financial support. We was getting financial support as well. But some of the support internationally what we got, and I think it's quite important that I read this letter, what we got from, what the strike committee got put forward from Antwerp. It says, "Dear colleagues, we would like to tell you how proud we are about the stand that has been taken throughout the whole UK and beyond. And we congratulate all of you with the fight fought and the battle you've won. Reinstating all workers is a victory for all. And you also it's also a big victory for workers elsewhere. It's also a big victory in the key that could break the hunger and the greed of the establishment. And that key is called solidarity. In times of crisis, it's so obvious to take a stand and go on strike. And it's even less obvious when you do it for something that's happening miles and miles away. What has happened is therefore unbelievable. We can only hope that your fight spreads so that workers once again can proclaim their rights, labour rights, and work for everyone. Work with no discrimination amongst one and another. Everyone should stand up to the greed that has caused this crisis. Together we can achieve great things. Together we can make a difference. Congratulations to you. Fight the crisis and put working people first." I think that is absolutely fantastic from a European trade union. We should also look at the dispute in terms of the full-time officials of Unite and the GMB. They was pulled after a week to support us because they understood the sort of support that construction workers, the construction industry, how they was organising from the attacks that the strikers got from Total to say we won't speak to you unless you go back through the gate. We won't talk about redundancies. The 51 who got made redundant, there's no chance that they're going to get the jobs back. We heard that day in, day out, and as the strike increased, the pressure increased on Total, and I think you could see the sort of pressure that Total and also the government and also the leaders of our trade unions was under at that particular stage of the strike. I said no end of times in the car park to the lads that I think we're going to win. I think we're going to score a tremendous victory because of the support that the workers showed in Britain and internationally. But to go back to the full-time officials, they was dragged kicking and screaming to support. The GMB came up, they set out a battle bus, and they said they was going to make this official. They was going to make this strike official. But what they was saying is they was making it official, or they was giving official backing to the sacked 600 and odd workers and the 51 who was made redundant. And there was also discussions about the GMB putting forward that they was going to put £100,000 into the strike fund. But there was major questions. There was major questions from the lads right throughout the week about the trade union leadership. And I think we can talk about this afternoon about what we're looking for a trade union leadership. How should they react to that strike? I think it was interesting when you saw the support, or when the GMB banners and the Unite banners was outside the gates. The lads was marching up and down the road with trade union banners and trade union slogans. And I thought at the time the difference between that and possibly January and February, and just think of the support we'd have got in January and February if the national officials had got off their arse and said we're going to support an attack on working people. Just to sum up, I think, as I started off, to say that this was a tremendous victory for working people. But I think think we should look at the way forward as working people. Yes, we want fighting leaderships. We want leaderships of our unions that are made accountable to understand how working people live. And that question was raised time and time again on the picket line about the roles of not only the trade union leadership, but also of the so-called government. They looked at that government and said quite clear to us they don't represent working people anymore. We have got to fight to change the trade unions, but from the change in the trade unions, we've got to have a political voice. I think the way forward for this strike we're looking at, we've got an official ballot coming up in 2 or 3 weeks' time on pay and conditions. We should be campaigning for a yes vote after the strike we've just had unofficially. I think there's no question that we're going to get a yes vote for official action in support of our pay claim. But what else was put forward was also the role of the Labour Party, and they saw the Labour Party as not doing anything for us while we was out on strike, have not supported it. I haven't got time to look at the sort of things that Mandelson, that Brown was saying regarding our strike. We said at the strike, and we were talking to people at the strike about the MPs, about the way that they have had their fingers in the trough, about the way that they have used their position to change their lives, not the lives of working class people. They've done it purely and simply on the basis of what do I get out of it. I think we stood on that picket line, we stood there with working people on that picket line and said quite clearly, we're here standing on your behalf. You've put us in charge, you've put us as a strike committee in charge to show a way forward in this dispute. I think we just looked at what was happening outside and around the country, and I think we looked at what the possibilities was. The possibilities of changing the Labour Party, of changing the trade unions. But I think we must look at how we're going to get that representation. Working people do want to fight in leadership, but they also need a party that is going to represent working people. That's the way forward, to promote and fight for a new Workers' Party so that that Workers' Party will represent workers in the future. Thanks.